Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we're going to be discussing the season finale of The Mandalorian. As a huge fan of the show, I have been eagerly anticipating this episode for some time, and I have to say, I'm not sure how I feel about it. However, like any finale, there were some aspects that were amazing and others that left me wanting more. So in this video, we're going to break down the pros and cons of the season finale, from the epic fight scenes to the missed opportunities and everything in between. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the Mandalorian season finale. Let's start off with the pros. The air battle with the Mandalorians and the Empire was truly a sight to behold. The use of jetpacks and blasters made for an intense and thrilling scene, with each side maneuvering and strategizing to gain the upper hand. It was particularly satisfying to see Bo-Katan and the Armorer fighting alongside each other, showcasing their formidable combat skills and the strength of the Mandalorian culture. As for Din Djarin's fight scenes, they were just as exciting. From taking out guards on his way to the control room, to fighting Praetorian guards alongside Grogu, every wave of enemies he defeated felt like he was leveling up and gaining a new weapon. And speaking of Grogu, it was fantastic to see him hold his own in battle and prove that he's not just a helpless baby anymore. The character arcs in this episode were also a highlight. Bo-Katan's journey finally came to a satisfying conclusion as she successfully reclaims Mandalore and emerged as a leader. Din Djarin, meanwhile, went from a lone wolf bounty hunter to a devoted father figure to Grogu, and it was heartwarming to see how much he cared for the child. The Mandalorian society as a whole also progressed. As Moff Gideon says, more or less, is that the Mandalorians are obsessed and too connected to their trinkets, which ultimately leads to their division. With the destruction of the Darksaber, they could finally begin to move forward as a society. Lastly, the potential storyline set up in this episode left us eagerly anticipating what's to come. With Din Djarin and Grogu now independent contractors hired by the New Republic, we could see them pop up in future shows like the upcoming Ahsoka series. And Grogu's connection to the Mythosaur living in the living waters could lead to some intriguing plot developments down the line. When Grogu is staring into the living waters, the Mythosaur awakens, implying that the creature may be connected to the Force. I'm thinking eventually Grogu will be the one to repair the Darksaber and also tame/ride the Mythosaur. However, there were some missed opportunities in this episode. Thrawn was set up to make a possible cameo, but we didn't get to see him in action. It was abundantly clear that Gideon does not like the direction of Thrawn's supposed grand plan and would like to push his agenda instead, causing the already broken faction of the Empire to become more separated. Thrawn could have showed up and put Gideon back into place. Also, his appearance could have helped us transition into the upcoming Ahsoka show, as he appears to be the main villain of that series. The title of the previous episode, The Spies, hinted at the possibility of a traitor in the Mandalorian ranks, but that plot point was never explored, and while the Mandalorian fleet looked impressive, we didn't get to see much of them in action before they were taken out. The lack of consequences in this episode made it feel like there was almost no risk. Axe Wolf directed a crashing ship into the enemy's base while being able to eject himself, and Din Djarin freed himself from his captors instantly and was quickly reunited with Grogu. Bo-Katan, with the help of Din, was able to defeat Moff Gideon very easily, despite him being set up as a major villain from the beginning of the series. Finally, the episode length was very short, leaving the story feeling a bit rushed. While it was exciting to see all the action and character arcs wrapped up, it also felt like there could have been more to the story. The potential of Thrawn to show up, the question of a possible spy within the Mandalorians, and the Mandalorian fleet all seemed like missed opportunities for more compelling storytelling. Overall, while the season finale of The Mandalorian had its pros and cons, it was still entertaining. With the potential for new storylines and characters to be introduced in the future shows, there is plenty to look forward to in the Star Wars universe. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below.